2003 BMW 525i Touring. This is the Touring with a 5-speed. 221,800 miles. And this thing uses oil like, it goes through a quarter about every 300 or 400 miles. And it's not cost effective to rebuild the engine. Straight 6 2.5 liter engine, because the car's 220 some odd thousand miles. But with using oil, it goes through spark plugs. I started having some misfires the last 100 miles or so. So I'm going to do spark plugs. I figure I might as well show how I do it. All right, spark plugs. This is a 2003, so that means this engine is the M, as in Mike 54 engine. The M54 has Vanos on the intake and exhaust, and they have the low tension oil control rings, and they use oil a lot. All right, to get to all the parts, you got to pull the passenger side. Let me show that's in the screen. It is. Passenger side, or the passenger interior air intake filter. Pull that off, pull this out. You can pop that thing out of the way. This comes out. Dump all the leaves out. This rotates up. And I actually have all the teeth on this one. I have 3 of these cars, and this is my best one. The only one with all 3 teeth. All right. Got to pull the oil. 10 millimeter. And that's about all I'm going to use power tools for on this job. I always put the cover back on. Let's see if we can see okay. I'll try zooming in. All right, there's your 6 coils above each plug. Even though it doesn't have to be, I like to add some light to the situation. I like to do one at a time. I love these German connectors. You pull this up, and that pops that out. Normally it does. Hold on the side it does. It's unplugged. I think it's 02 and newer vehicles had no tie down for the coils. So all you do is twist a little bit, and they pop right out. So that one's out. And it's always a good idea, play with this, if you're having misfires, pull the coil off, look down the spark plug hole. There's no oil down there. It's dry and for 220,000 miles clean. All right, so look down there. We're going to do that on every single one. I'm not going to move the camera around every single time, but look down there. If there's oil down there, that means your valve cover gasket in the inside is leaking. Well, actually, it's not a valve cover. Everyone calls it that. On this engine, it's actually a cam shover. Intake cam, exhaust cam. Now, like I said, I'm not going to use power tools to pull spark plugs. We have a steel spark plug in an aluminum head. So, no power tools. And that one, it's carboned up some, but it's not that bad. That'll work. This is a gear wrench, part number 80546, 5/8 inch, magnetic. Swivel. See the end swivels? Swivel spark plug socket. I got that off eBay. So I'm putting a brand new, I pulled out NGKs, putting back in NGKs. Yes, it's a German car. You would think Bosch. However, when we get to the number 5 cylinder, this will come more topical. Oh yeah, putting a spark plug in. If you just turn nice and easy with a couple fingers, it should twist pretty much all the way in. Yes, there is a torque value for this. I just use the smallest little socket I have and tighten it, and not with this choking down on it. That's my torque. Is that the proper way of doing it? Nope. That's my way of doing it. You will get a feel for those. That spark plug has changed. Put this back on until you feel it pop on. Put the plug on, push the cap down. Move on to number 2. A very easy job. Dry as a bone. That's good. No oil down there. Is the camera still on this? Yes, it is. And it should come out just as easy as it goes in. You saw I use the socket to, or the ratchet. Just break it loose. After that, it's by hand. A little bit of oil on that one too. Again, this thing has 200, well, time I test drive it, 220,000 miles on a straight 6 with a 5-speed transmission, manual. And if you want to buy it, I will sell it to you. Actually, I will sell you a BMW starter kit. I got this 03 525. I have a whole nother 525 touring 01 525 touring body, bad engine, good automatic transmission. The engine and transmission are both out. Then I have a 03 525 sedan, good engine. Let's see, the touring has a bad engine, good transmission. The sedan parts car, good engine, bad automatic, but it's a different automatic than the other automatic. So I bought the second parts car as transmission source, and it's not. ECUs are different, drive shafts are different. If you're interested in a BMW E39 starter kit, put something in the comments and we'll figure out how to contact each other. All right, now, that was number 1. Number 2, I have been getting codes for number 3 misfire. It's dry as a bone down there. Good, good, good. My Harbor Freight light doesn't like being moved sometimes. So number 3 has had misfires reported on my scanner. It looks pretty nasty, but no big goop on it. Again, this thing just uses oil. This is all there is to it. It uses oil. And I have tried synthetic. I have tried non-synthetic. I've tried super thin. I've tried super thick. It uses oil. That's all there is to it. Need to re-ring it, and to re-ring it means I got to pull it out, probably replace the clutch, since I'll have it out anyway, go through all the stuff on the head. If the cylinder heads, or the cylinder head, they have torque to yield bolts holding the head down, and there's trouble on these engines with the, when you pull the head off, the darn threads come out of the head with the bolt, which means you got to time-sert it. And so you spend $500 to put new bolts back on the cylinder head after you've done everything else, plus all the other gaskets and rings, and you have to find a, what is it, a M52 TU 2.5 liter engine or 3 liter engine. Number 4 is dry as a bone. Is it still on view? Let me pull it up a little bit. And to me, it just doesn't make sense to spend, oh yeah, you got a special timing set to set the Vanos back. Oh yeah, for sale. I redid the Vanos seals and all the suspension parts, struts, shocks. These are adjustable coilovers. I can do camber on these ones. All the suspension parts, steering parts have been replaced. The entire cooling system's been replaced. Number 4 is not that bad. Oops. They all look dirty, but not terribly bad. Let's see. BAV sound system, BAV, whatever. The speaker people. I did their speaker kit. Number 4 is dry as a bone down there. Yeah, you want to buy this and 2 other BMWs, get your E39 starter kit, send me a comment and we'll figure something out. This thing does great for what I use it for, which is drive about 100 miles each way to the nearest big town for doctor visits and whatnot like that. Great comfort, ice cold AC, got Michelin Pilot Sport 3-year-old Michelin Pilot Sport tires on it. Thing handles great, just uses oil. Alright, let's see what number 5 looks like. It's dry as can be down there. This is the one the spark plug came off of, popped out a year or so ago. I had to Time-Sert it. Now the whole time before it popped out, I could not do this. I had to use the wrench, the ratchet, to get the spark plug out. The threads were boogered when I bought the car. And it's wet, it's oily. So last November, it decided to leave the cylinder head. That was before I was doing videos. I did not get a video, but I will say this. I drove it 45 miles. I had no tools. It was getting dark. It was cold out. And it had already gone about a mile, misfiring. I thought it was an exhaust leak because it was pop, 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 pop. I thought I had an exhaust leak until I pushed the clutch in at a stop sign and nope, there's no power and the thing won't idle. And couldn't even pull well, I could have, but I figured out the noise was coming from up here and it was the number 5 spark plug left the head. So I bought the Time-Sert kit, did the thread insert down the hole, and it has worked great ever since. And you saw I just pulled the spark plug out with hand force. This one doesn't want to come out. There it goes. If I wasn't reaching around the light, it probably would better. Is it still in view? Yeah. Dry as can be. My valve cover gaskets are replaced 3 years ago. Still holding. Excuse me. Camshaft cover gasket. Got to use the right terminology and all. As you can see, oh, this one's pretty dirty too. All 6 spark plugs have now been removed and replaced. And it's a pretty easy process. If you have one of these engines and E46, E39, whatever number the X5s are, and the X3s. They all have this engine. The 3 liter and the 2.5 liter. You gotta do it. Now, I get my spark plugs and coils too from FCP Euro. Lifetime money back guarantee. So I'm going to mail them my old spark plugs as soon as I can. Probably do UPS for that. And I will mail them my old spark plugs and they'll refund my money of the ones I just bought. Oh yeah, I use NGKs because I never even thought about spark plugs leaving the cylinder heads. Never had that happen before. But it seems it happens to everybody, not just BMWs. And the Bosch plugs, for some reason, seem to leave the cylinder heads more than the NGK plugs. So I got NGKs in here. I get this thing back on. I'll leave it like that. For whatever reason, this car is just a little bit off center over here. Pull this off. There, went right on that time. That's good. Very good. In case you didn't know, doing the same thing on that side is how you check your brake fluid in the master cylinder. Hopefully, if you have one of these cars, you know that, and you've checked your brake fluid. Seems like a pain to get to, but once you get used to it, it works pretty good. All right, let's see if it runs. Should fire right up. So, changing spark plugs in the E39. Smooth as can be. No drama, no problems. And that's a cold engine that's been sitting for, I don't know, 18 hours. When I started up last time, yesterday, to move it in here, so it would be a cold engine. It was missing and jumping and bucking and complaining. It smoothed out after a few seconds, but it wasn't happy. Now, it's a happy engine. Anyway, E39 spark plugs, remove and replace. 20-minute job, well, actually about a 10-minute job when you're not talking like I was. Enjoy. Oh, like and subscribe if you made it this far. Please subscribe. I need more subscribers.